Hey Crossbridge, it's Friday, and it's time for a surprise SOAP update. Today we have started the Gospel of Luke. This is the biography of Jesus written by Dr. Luke. It's one of the most detailed and most researched biographies of Jesus that we have out of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And I'm coming to you today as a special SOAP update because I'm real excited that every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we're going to be having a quick SOAP update for you based on the chapters that we're in, but I'm not doing them all. I'll be with you every Wednesday like normal, but I'm so excited that Becky and Pastor Will are going to be joining us every Monday, every Friday to give some of their insights into these chapters that we're going to read. Today you're in chapter 1, and it is a long chapter. I think chapter 1's about 80 verses, and this is longer than a lot of the books and a lot of the chapters that we've read. Luke is going to feel that way, so you may want to give yourself just a little bit of extra time as you're soaping in the morning. And today, I would love to look at something. While there's so much in this book or in this chapter to unpack, a lot of stories between the birth of Jesus, John the Baptist, songs from Mary, and all of these things. There's one moment that I'd like to draw your attention to as we look forward to the story of Jesus. It's probably a story that's overlooked, but in light of our The Grass is Always Greener series that we just came out of a couple of weeks ago, I was struck by the story of Mary and Elizabeth. If you look into verses 39 all the way through to 56, there's this story that we have where Elizabeth, in her super old age, has been praying and praying to become pregnant. And when it was so old, it was just no longer a hope. They find out she is going to be pregnant. And it's her husband, who's this super spiritual priest guy, kind of like, oh, this is going to be great. And they are going to name this child John. This is going to be Jesus's cousin. And what's funny is that she's been celebrating. She's so excited because in her old age, she's pregnant. But then something happens. Teenage Mary gets pregnant too. Teenage Mary gets pregnant and she's still a virgin. And about 6 months into Elizabeth's pregnancy, Mary goes to visit her and shows up at her house. And we find this moment where if you've been waiting and waiting and waiting for something your entire life, and it finally happens, and then someone else experiences the same thing, and it came so easy, it was not an effort, how would you feel? If I were in Elizabeth's shoes and Mary walked into my house, I'd probably be like, oh, look, of course it was easy for you. Of course this wasn't a problem. And I may compare my experience to hers. But I love what Elizabeth does when Mary walks in. Elizabeth, being touched by the Holy Spirit and knowing her and John filled with the Holy Spirit in that moment, say in verse 42, Elizabeth gave a glad cry and exclaimed to Mary, God has blessed you above all women, and your child is blessed. Why am I so honored that the mother of my Lord should visit me? When I heard your greeting, the baby in my womb jumped for joy. You are blessed because you believed that the Lord would do what he said. In a moment where Elizabeth could have, totally shamed Mary or totally, just not been appreciative of her own pregnancy, she didn't compare. She didn't get upset, and instead she recognized, because of the presence of the Holy Spirit, that God was doing something in her as well as in Mary. And I want to encourage you as we look towards the biography of Jesus here, that even when Mary was pregnant with Jesus, he was bringing blessing to everywhere he went. What a blessed woman Mary is to be the mother of Jesus, that even Elizabeth would say, you're special. We walk with Jesus every day. He's in our hearts. He runs our lives. And I hope and pray that as you read the story of Jesus, you would be reading, asking the questions. Where am I going with you, and how am I being a blessing? And over the next couple of weeks, I hope that you're as blessed as I am to hear 3 videos a week, diving in and jumping into the story of Jesus together. Crossbridge, I pray that you would dive deep into this story as we approach Easter together.